trying to say is that I'm sorry. I knew you were upset, you needed a shoulder, and I gave you logic. I should have just let you calm down. It won't happen again, Rose. Rose?
What?
If I'm gonna be groveling for forgiveness, the least you can do is listen to me.
I'm sorry. It's been a bad day.
What now?
The social worker paid us a little visit this morning. Apparently she read over the police report on Lou and Blackie.
Yeah, they keep in close touch with authorities for very good reason.
I thought I had her convinced it was all a misunderstanding, but then she talked to Lou. Well, Lou must have depicted me as some sort of sadistic prison warden or something, because as a result, the social worker left here preparing to recommend that Lou be transferred to another foster home.
Oh, no.
That's the bad news. The good news is Lou won't be here when they come to get her.
Why not?
She's going to live with Blackie.
Does Rick and Leslie know about this?
She and Blackie are going to get an apartment together. He doesn't know about it yet.
How did all this come about?
You got me.
Well, you really must have done something to set her off.
I made the phone call.
To the police?
Mm-hmm. As near as I can tell, that was the last straw. Jake, for the life of me, I can't figure out how to get through to that girl. She won't listen to reason. She's got her mind made up, and there's not a thing I can do to change it.
How does she plan to pull this off?
Lord knows. For heaven's sake, she's underage. She's got no job. She's in love with a college boy who lives at home, and she thinks that the Department of Social Services is just going to let her waltz off on her own.
Highly unlikely.
Of course it is. They're going to throw in another foster home so fast it's going to make her head spin. They're going to take her away from me, Jake, and there's not a thing I can do about it. And the worst part is, Lou doesn't want me to do anything about it.
Don't be too sure.
What do you mean?
Well, Lou is a very headstrong girl, yes, but let's just wait and see what happens.
No. I waited and saw it once before. Remember? No, I'm not going to do that. Not this time. I'm not going to sit back and watch her just ruin her life.
Don't you think you're going a little off the deep end
Well,
here?
if I am, I'm going in after Lou.
Look, what's happened has happened.
Oh, you're a real comfort.
I'm just trying to say that it's not going to do anybody any good if you're just as hysterical as Lou.
There you go again.
What?
Giving me that damn logic when what I need is help. You don't understand it all, do you?
I'm trying.
Lou needs me. For the first time in my life, I know that I can help someone, really help them. I may be the only one who can if she would just let me. But I don't know the first thing to do to go about doing it. I just don't know what I'm going to do,
Just
Jake.
keep at it. She'll come through.
When? The damage has already been done. Once that social worker files her report, Lou is as good as gone.
Well, maybe it's all for the best.
What?
I mean, under the circumstances.
Under the circumstances, what?
Oh, hell, I'm not doing very much good, am I?
Not so far.
Well, maybe I should just leave before I make it worse.
Maybe you'd better.
Off, it would change everything. We sign with Furley, right? We do an album, right? We go on the road to support the album. It's gonna be beautiful.
Hang on, we haven't even made the video yet.
Come on, Tommy, have a little confidence. Come on, it's gonna be great. We're gonna do great, and the rest is history.
Stars.
Oh, Blackie.
Lou, what are you doing here?
Oh, the guy in the Mr. News said you'd be here. We've got to talk.
All right, well, you can ride home with us if you want.
No, listen, Blackie. What I'll do is I'll take Amy home, and then you guys can be around, okay?
Why?
Amy, let's go.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah.
What's up?
We have got a situation here.
What are you talking about?
Well, the social worker came this morning, and, well, she wants to send me away.
Take you away from Rose? They can't do that, can they? Why?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I think it has to do with the fact, you know, the dorm room and everything the other night. The social worker knew all about it.
It wasn't Rose's fault.
Well, in a way it was. Rose is the one that called the police. I think it's time for me to get going anyway from her. We haven't been getting along well, and, well, we had another fight just before I came over here.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, we'll just have to get an apartment. I mean, I can't go into another foster home. That would kill me. And I can't believe I hadn't thought about it before. I mean, we'll be able to be together without the police coming knocking on the door.
Hold it. What, you talking about us moving in together?
Yeah, why not? Isn't that a great idea? I cannot believe I hadn't thought about it before, and I am sure that the social service department will find it perfect that we live together.
Lou, are you crazy?
What do you mean?
We can't move in together.
Oh, well, sure, we can take care of the social service department. They'll let us do it,
That's
really.
the least of our worries, man. We got no money. We got no apartment. Oh, we got to get a job and quit school. That would be horrible.
I don't think so.
Lou, what's the matter with what we got now? You want to throw it all away?
I thought you'd be happy.
Kid, listen, I'm sorry. I like you and everything, and you're my friend. And as my friend, I'm telling you something. Listen to me. You're making a big mistake here. You're dreaming. You're in your little dream world. Now, listen. I think you should go back to Rose where you belong. Now, you may not think it's right, but I'm telling you, Rose is the best thing that ever happened to you.
No. No, Blackie, you are.
No, Rose is.
I can't go back to her. I can't go back to Rose. Oh, not now.
And in closing, I would just like to say that we do need everybody's help. It is vitally important that the commissioners' wives take an active interest in the Arts Commission. I mean, we can't do it without you, so we will be looking forward to working with each and every one of you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I do want to emphasize that the work of a commissioner really involves his whole family. I mean, it's kind of like the job of mayor, you know. It's not just a one-man or one-woman operation. We all have to do our part.
What is the record for the longest ladies' luncheon? I'm sure you must have broken it some time ago.
Well, you must be used to it. You must be a veteran of these wars.
Yeah, I suppose so. Are you okay? I was surprised that you came.
Thanks for it. Believe it or not, I needed to get out. I mean, my parents' death devastated me, but I just don't want to dwell on it forever, you know? I think it's better to just immerse myself in projects, perhaps.
Yeah, I've tried that remedy myself on occasion.
Well, did it work for you?
Sometimes.
Community projects, they keep me occupied if nothing else.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not the community projects type. I mean, I know they're important and they really play a needed role. It's just that I guess it's not me.
What is?
I don't know. I do know I need a bit more adventure in my life, though, and this doesn't quite make it.
Sure. I can believe a lady like you would be hard to settle down. I mean, with your background, your ladies' luncheons, they must seem awfully tame.
For a while, it didn't bother me. I enjoyed them. But ever since Luke and Laura left, I've had this nagging feeling that I should be doing something more with my life.
Oh, yes, they're taking off with a lot of us, India.
You know, it's funny when I look back on my old life. Even though it was somewhat left of the war, and it was something that I would certainly never, ever want to go back to, it does gall me that the excitement I have these days is venturing into the exotic world of cooking.
Well, I think we've let the time run on longer than I anticipated. So, if anyone has anything more to discuss? No?
No.
Then I think we really should bring this meeting to a close.
Oh, it's been such a marvelous idea. You know, we should really plan regular meetings.
Must we?
Such a shame that Leslie couldn't make the meeting.
Oh, I know. Apparently, there was just a flood of patients in the clinic, and Alan couldn't handle the overload. I don't know. It sounded kind of serious.
Oh, dear, I hope there's nothing going around.
Well, we'll find out when we get back there.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
It really was wonderful of you, and I think if there's nothing more, we really will call it quits right now. I have to get back to the hospital.
Yes,
I'm sure you all have to stay.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Well, me too, actually. I have to see my accountant, you know. My financial situation has all of a sudden got quite complicated. What about you today?
Oh, nothing much. I suppose if I'm feeling especially reckless, I might go another round or two with the food processor. See you soon.
Holly, I just wanted to say that I think it's marvelous the way you've been able to adjust yourself to being a commissioner's wife.
Thank you, Audrey.
I know it must be very difficult to turn your back on the past and try to find a niche here in Port Charles, but you really do fit in, and it's just awfully nice to have you here.
Well, I enjoy it.
Good. I'm glad. See you later.
Don't yell at me, Rose. I know I'm not supposed to be in here, but there's something about Lou I think you should know.
You saw her?
Yeah, at the university. She had her bags packed. She said the social workers were going to take her back to that foster home if she didn't stay with me. Is that true?
Well, yes, it looks that way, although moving in with you isn't going to do anything to change, and they can still come after her. What did you tell her?
Well, I was floored. I mean, about her moving in with me. I told her no. I told her as gently as I could, but basically, I think I shot her down, Rose.
Well, that's what I figured.
Rose, I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, you couldn't be expected to drop everything on a whim of Lou's.
No, I mean, I'm sorry about the other night. I know it was wrong and everything, but I guess I just didn't think before it happened. I mean, who'd ever believed that me and Lou going to bed would be such a big deal?
Now you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, basically, it wasn't my problem, though.
Takes two to do that dance.
Rose, I like Lou. And I swear to you, I would never take advantage of her. I mean, not intentionally, anyway. I just didn't realize how serious this whole thing was to her until she showed up with her bags packed at the university. I felt like such a jerk, Rose. What was I supposed to do, man? What does she want from me? Look, I mean, that's too big of a responsibility for her and I. I mean, that's a big thing moving in together. We'd be at each other's throat in a second.
So what did Lou say to all this?
Well, what could she say? She wasn't very happy about it, but I told her, I said, the right thing to do is come back here with Rose.
Do you know where she is now?
Oh, she was crying. She just ran.
Well, listen, I'm just sorry that you didn't come to your senses a little earlier. Maybe too late for Lou and I to salvage what we had between us, but I'm sure as hell going to try.
Rose, I'm sorry, man. Is there anything I could do?
You've done enough already. Now, please go.
Oh, hey, love. Did you get that disaster in the kitchen sorted out?
Actually, no. Gail's luncheon went on so long. It was so unbelievably dull. I didn't have the heart to wade into that mess in the kitchen. I figured we'd go out for dinner.
Not tonight.
Why not?
Well, homework. No time.
Anything interesting?
Oh, not really. Drug ring we're trying to bust up. A couple of murders we're nowhere close to solving. Just a day in the life of the average urban crime fighter.
And when do you get to the really tough cases, like boredom or uselessness?
No, I've got some petty stuff here, like, this list of complaints. Everything has to be investigated, but there's just never enough hours in the day.
Well, what kind of complaints?
Well, there's, crank calls, accusations of a scam, stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of crime.
Yeah, well, it's the sort of thing we get every day. Trivial, but it all has to be investigated.
Since you're obviously occupied with far weightier matters, why don't you let me help you with your complaint?
You?
Well, I've got experience in that area, if you remember. It takes a thief, right?
Oh, wait a minute, Holly. Look, we went through all of that stuff.
Here, an obscene phone call. Well, why don't you just tap the wire?
Well, there's approximately an obscene phone call every 30 seconds. To tap every wire in town would take more time than we've got. We wouldn't be able to get into the good stuff like murder, robbery, manslaughter.
Well, something has to be done about it.
Well, if it gets out of control, we hand it over to the phone company.
Well, hopefully the phone company will handle that a little more efficiently than they do their phone service. Okay, what else have we got here? What else looks good? Here's a disturbing the peace. Oh, that's pretty boring. A woman complaining about her husband. She needs a marriage counselor, not the police.
We have been known to moonlight on occasion.
Yeah, now, this is interesting. A woman thinks she's got ripped off for her dancing lessons.
Yeah, well, she's probably complaining because the instructor didn't make a pass at her.
No, I don't think so. Why don't you take
Look, why don't you let me handle the list of complaints, huh?
I was just trying to help.
Darling, you can be a big help if you'll toddle off into the kitchen there and whip up a nice meal of mush.
Very funny. You know, you should let me help you. I'm very good at it, and I could save you a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
This is really interesting. I mean, this woman thinks she was dancing, and this guy...
I've been looking all over for you. Figure you're down here someplace, but the waterfront covers a lot of territory.
I'm just waiting for Blackie. He had some music business to take care of, and then we're gonna go find an apartment. Well, you know, it won't be much at first, but, you know, we'll scrounge and we'll get things together and we'll manage.
Lou, I talked to Blackie. He came by after you saw him at the university. You okay?
Oh, Rose.
Oh, no, baby, I know. No.
He didn't want me.
Oh, that's not it.
Well, that's what he said.
Blackie likes you. He just realized that neither of you are ready to tackle that kind of a commitment. Not yet. You're just too young.
Story of my life, isn't it?
That's what I was trying to tell you before. It gets different when you're older. I'm sorry you had to find out the hard way.
You were right. I made a fool out of myself, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
No wonder Blackie turned me down.
Now, listen to me, Lou. You didn't do anything foolish. It's natural to show your emotions. It'd be a big problem if you didn't. You know, young love is beautiful and awful frequently at the same time. Everybody suffers through it. Most of us survive it. You will.
Not the way I'm going, Rose.
Don't try to change the way you feel. Not that you could if you wanted to. You do have to control yourself, though.
That's not exactly one of my strongest points.
Well, that goes for us old folks, too.
What did you do?
I was wrong to call the police. I let my emotions rule my logic. I was so worried about you, I didn't stop and think. Bad move. But, you know, if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it exactly the same way. The thought of something happening to you just scares me to death.
Oh, I am so sorry for everything I put you through, all the worry about the way I was behaving, about what I said to the social worker. I didn't mean it.
I know.
Well, what's going to happen to me? I don't want to leave you. What are they going to do, put me in another foster home?
No, not if I can help it. If you want to stay with me, and Lord knows I want you to, we're going to be able to work something out. Now, come on. Let's go home.
Oh, I don't think I can face anybody.
Well, I don't think I can either, but we won't have to. It'll just be the two of us. No Jake, no Blackie. There's one other thing you'll learn. Sometimes men aren't all that good for you.
Oh, Rose.
What does she want from me? Why can't you see? Why can't you see? She beats out. I'll never be what she thinks that I should be. Thinks that I should be. What does she want from me? It's my life. It's my life. Okay. It's my life. What does she want from me? I'm not hers alone, and I won't ever be. I won't ever be. There's so much more to me. There's so much more to me. What does she want from me? What does she want from me? What does she want from me? she want from me? What does she want from me? What does she want from me?